Changed it up a bit.
Ooh, I like it. Welcome, everybody, to the Hoops Rehab Show on a Thursday night. How you doing, EMAC?
Doing pretty good. Rui with that bang to win it. Pretty wild wild finish up in Toronto.
Yeah, that when Rui's open in the corner three, usually means it's good things. So,
Yes, sir.
Lakers win on a absolute classic in Toronto. We got a lot to get into the show. We're going to talk about the Lakers. We're going to talk about Giannis, talk about them Clippers doing Chris Paul wrong. We got a lot to get into, but as always, everybody, I am the Gameinjurydoc, aka Dr. Evan Jeffries. On my right is Eric B. Mack. We are the host of the Hoops Rehab Show. You can find us at our YouTube page, which is the Hoops Rehab Show. Please hit that follow, subscribe button. That's where you get all our content, notifications when we go live, notifications for any other type of videos. It's all there. We also have an Instagram page that you can follow as well. And then after the show, we'll be uploading the pod. So wherever you get your podcasts, this show will be available at the Hoops Rehab Show. All right, Eric, you ready to get it cracking tonight?
And end of the road to a crazy streak. Let's get it cracking.
I wasn't really sure.
I thought
you were going.
Could that mean two things? Could that mean two things?
I thought you were about to start singing Boys to Men right here.
Yeah, I thought it was, should have had that on cue. But no. I won't say that. I won't get that far, but
I guess we'll get into obviously just the fact that the Lakers escaped this game after having a pretty good lead in the first half, but got out of the game. Won on a buzzer beater by Rui. Pretty amazing. Obviously, Austin Reaves went berserk tonight without Luka. Had 44, 10, and 5. And LeBron, he couldn't hit a shot. I think he was 4 for 17 or 3 for 17.
3 for 17. 3 for 17. 4 for 17. So probably I guess no free throws then. 0 for 0 from the line. Wow.
Yeah, he didn't get to the line at all.
Yeah.
So we can get to that in a little bit. But what do you think overall about the Lakers' performance and just kind of getting out of Toronto with a win?
I mean, I guess we should start with obviously Luka. Luka didn't play. Luka Doncic. He had his kid. Did you know he was married and with one kid? I don't think I knew that, to be honest.
I did know he had a kid, and I was pretty sure he was married, but I didn't know she lives in Slovenia.
Yeah, especially that. Maybe that's why it wasn't. So pretty sure that's kind of what it was, right? They had a baby.
That's what the reports are saying. I mean, they haven't really confirmed it, but from all accounts is that he'll miss tonight and tomorrow's game while he's back home there.
Awesome.
Obviously celebrating the birth of his second child. So congrats, Luka. That's a pretty amazing thing. I forget how young he is, and for kids right now too, it's a pretty amazing thing.
Yep. But anyway, just wanted to comment on that. So obviously, like after that Phoenix game, we knew the Lakers had a pretty kind of a tough 3-game road trip, right? I mean, maybe not playing any of the top teams, but 3 teams that are playing decent, right? And have always been tough places to play in. And so when you hear Luka's going to be out for at least 2 of the 3, today, it's a back-to-back. Toronto's been playing pretty damn good. I must say I'm pretty surprised by the win tonight. And so it was a good win. I mean, obviously Lakers were up and they kind of lost the lead there. But maybe that was kind of expected a little bit since Toronto's been playing well. But yeah, I mean, obviously we know who's him, right? Who's he, who's him. Austin Reaves, as he's done without Luka, even with Luka, is just he just carried the load tonight, man. It's been tremendous this season.
He's a bad man, dude. Like since that I'm him moment against the Grizzlies,
it's been a ride.
Had that dog in him, but this year he literally is just completely turned his game around to the point where he knows he can get a bucket anytime he wants. Right. So he's not like, I felt like the previous seasons, he's been good and showing his skill level, kind of getting to the basket, getting to the foul line. But this year, it's like his handles are unreal. his ability to
Yeah.
kind of like slip screens and kind of get around defenders, use his body has been unreal, almost like a mini Luka, in my opinion, the way he uses his body, just a little bit smaller, obviously. But the combo of him and Luka by far is the best guard combo in the league right now. And arguably, I mean, I don't want to go there because I know this is recency bias and all that stuff, but are they the best duo in the league right now? I mean, they're playing like the best duo, but name 3 better duos right now.
So, well, let me go to the teams here. So, I guess we got to go. This is like guards, right? So, um, I think we got to go obviously SGA and J
Yeah.
Will, right? Is that would they be
Yep.
considered
It
backcourt?
would be a little backcourt.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't think Houston. Well, I mean,
No, they
I
didn't
don't think
really have a point guard.
Houston. Yeah, San Antonio, Denver. I don't think so. I mean, maybe the chat could help us out, but I mean, yeah, there's nothing really. I mean, obviously, when there's positionless, kind of like basketball, right? So there's some. I mean, but in terms of like guards, yeah, it's got to put him in top 3 if anything, and I haven't even
Yeah,
kind of come up with a 2 yet,
yeah. That's
besides
what I'm saying.
them.
For as far as guards, they're for sure. Like then it'd be SGA and Williams, but other than that,
Yeah,
it's like
J
even
Will,
that when you're looking at best
Minnesota, Phoenix, Golden
duos
State.
in the league, I mean, because of how heavy Luka is weighted and how well Austin's playing right now, they can kind of balance each other out. But obviously, SGA is pretty much the number 1 player in the league, MVP. So he gets a little bit more with that, and Jay will show what he did in the finals and the playoffs last year. So it's just an interesting debate, but we do need to see more than 20 plus games of this, right? We need to see a full season and probably another season before kind of putting them as one of the top duos in the league.
Yeah, I mean, at least definitely offensively, right? I mean, you gotta give him that. Obviously, from like a physicality standpoint, I mean, not guards, but when obviously when Tatum and Jalen Brown in terms of like duos and wing guys, obviously Jalen Brown's out right now. I mean, sorry, Jason Tatum's out, but
Yeah.
you'd have to put them in terms of a duo. But yeah, I mean, other than that, unless we're missing something. It's I mean, it goes to show if we're not naming like 4 or 5 like tandems that are just like right off the top of our head, that just kind of shows how well I mean, definitely Austin Reaves is playing. I mean, Luka's kind of doing what he does.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like you're gonna say Jalen Brunson and Cat are a better duo?
I
I
mean,
love
would you
Jalen
trade?
Brunson.
I guess let's put it this way. Would you right now make that trade, Luka and Austin Reaves for no, right? Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
That's no
so
disrespect, but it just
if
I mean,
you're I guess we could put it that way. Like, are there 2 guys like 2 for 2 that you would just straight up trade?
well,
Um,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah. No, it's an
it's crazy.
interesting thought right now what
Not many.
Austin actually has brought to this team. And then now you got the Lakers thinking what they're going to do in the offseason because he's obviously going to be a free agent. And
We talked about,
we're going to have to give him all that money. And I kind of know where some of that money is going to probably come from. If this is it for LeBron James Sr. But let's get into to kind of, the streak that he's had is probably one of the most underrated streaks ever in basketball, and maybe in sports, just how the sheer longevity of it. But LeBron has scored 10 points in every game he has played since 2007. Was that January 6, 2007? I think.
So the 6th is when the streak started.
Yeah.
But it was technically, I have it here. So the last time LeBron James did not score 10 points or double digits in a game was January 5th of 2007 against the Milwaukee Bucks. He played 43 minutes. He was 3 for 13, 0 for 4 from 3. It's kind of similar to tonight's stat line. 8 points, So 8 points in 2007, January 5th, and then 8 points
And 8 points now.
December 4th, 2025. So almost 2026. So
I
pretty
mean,
crazy. I mean,
it's
it's
almost 19 years because I mean it's technically 18 years. So think about
yeah,
this: there has only been 47 players that have played 18 seasons in the NBA. LeBron has literally had a 10-point streak for 18 plus seasons, which is just incredible, amazing, something that you're never going to see again.
I know. What are some of the things that were going on in January of '07? So we didn't have
So
these, that's for sure.
no iPhones.
No iPhones.
Let's see. Barack
MySpace
Obama. What was it?
was all right. MySpace was the probably the main
Yep.
social media,
Yeah.
right?
No
2007.
Instagram. No
No Insta
TikTok. No Snapchat. Obama wasn't even president yet,
president. Not
so
even
that's
his
a
first
long time
term.
ago. What else would there be? Yeah,
When
I mean,
did Twitter
it's
start?
a hell of a lot of stuff that what has happened since 2007. So, hell of a streak for the King. But I wanted to get into it's something that we got into last game, but and whether or not this is just father time has finally caught up to LeBron, or is it really just the accumulation of injuries that he's had with the Lakers? You know, obviously ending the season last year with the MCL injury, so he didn't get the typical amount of summer that he would get as far as his basketball game because he had to rehab that first. And then as soon as he rehabbed that, he got back to playing basketball and then had the sciatica stuff in August. Right.
Can
So yeah, go ahead.
can I just sorry, just Cooper Flag was born 10 days before that streak.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Before that streak started, by the way, guys, ladies and
So
gentlemen.
you're telling me
I'm
when
sorry. I just
LeBron James started this streak, Cooper Flag was a little
December 21st,
10-day
2006. So
baby.
about 2 weeks before um, Cooper Flag. I always want to call him Cooper Cup for some reason. Cooper Flag was born. So sorry.
Yeah.
I was thinking like, oh, I wonder what if there was any NBA players that have been born since then.
Yeah.
Obviously, that'd be pretty crazy. But yeah. So first pick in the draft this season because Lakers traded for Luka. Pretty crazy. But anyways, back to LeBron.
Yeah. So what I was just saying was more that whether or not it is actually father time, you know, he's in
Yeah.
23rd season, or is it just the accumulation of injuries that he's had, right? So he had the MCL injury and then got into the sciatica in August. And to me, he looks like he has no lift, right? You got to think he has the ankle stuff on his left side, right? So that's just always kind of going to be there. His foot and ankle been nagging him for the last couple of years. So that's his exploding side, his power leg. Then on the right side, he has a sciatica. So he's going to make him weaker on that side and limit his ability to kind of leap off that side, jump off that side. You can tell with his 3-point shot, it's not there. Like he doesn't have the energy, the strength right now in general. Um, Obviously, for him to be scoring 8 points and to be averaging what is he down to 14 points this season? I know it's only been about 6 games, um, but
Yeah.
there's a stark difference between this LeBron this year and LeBron last year. What do you make of it?
Yeah, talked about it many times. It's you just these folks sometimes they just really hit a wall and just at 100 miles an hour. And so I mean, we'd have to think it's a combination of things. So he had that knee injury the last game of the season against Minnesota in the playoffs last year. So you got to think that really set him back in terms of his typical summer. I don't think he's ever been injured going into a season, never been injured coming into a season. And so to be in a little bit of like uncharted territories in year 23, I think it wasn't ideal. And so it's got to be a combination of that. I think when it's kind of when you can finally hit that wall or you can tell that the decline is real, it often is not someone that's just super healthy and they're just getting older, but it's like the injuries are creeping up. They take longer to heal from, right? I would imagine. not able to kind of again go through his similar routine as always. And so I don't know. It's a combination of things. I'm hoping it's more still a longer ramp up than usual. I'm hoping he kind of is just going at 60 right now, knowing that we need him close to 100 around March, April, right?
Yeah.
Could be a little bit of that too. But yeah, I don't think our eyes are deceiving us, right? The numbers are the numbers, but yeah, he doesn't have the lift. He doesn't have the kind of explosiveness. And so I don't know. I just don't know if that will extremely improve or not,
Yeah.
or maybe it will, but it's kind of a long shot, I think.
Yeah, I mean, and you could take this as his preseason, right? These 6
Yeah.
games that he's played right now,
Hmm.
and then getting into game shape, and he definitely looks fatigued. Like I think there's a play where Austin Reaves, as the last minute or two, basically they threw him a long pass. He got it,
Yeah.
kind of scored a layup. LeBron was walking to the bench for a timeout, like literally to the point where he was going to sit down because he was tired, and then he
Winded.
scored. And then he comes back on defense. You can tell he's tired on defense. So, like, I
Oh,
just think
yeah.
there's a little bit more fatigue, obviously, going on. He's still playing 36 minutes. He played 36 minutes tonight, right? Like,
Yeah. Hey,
and
it's,
I
I
thought
mean,
his minutes would
it's
be
incredible.
between 28 to 32. So you got to give him that credit. And number one, if a player is going to go out like this and lose some of the athletic ability, what better player to be than LeBron when you have the best IQ in the NBA, probably hands down, probably ever. I mean, he can get 10 and 12 assists a night pretty much, and that's what you're seeing out of him. So he's basically becoming your point guard, your point forward, um, when not always having to have the ball in his hand this time. Now he just sees the floor and he's going to see anybody, and he's got wide open people because of Luka and Austin Reeves.
Yeah, listen, if you kind of avoid some of the stat sheet and you look at 11 assists, 0 turnovers, 36 minutes, without even having to look at the rest of the statistics, you would probably normally take that, right? And so I think his turnover numbers are down, and it could be partly because of usage as well, obviously. But yeah, if he could be like this in terms of distributing the ball, but I think what the Lakers will need from him though is to be a little bit more efficient from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
I think if he can get that going, kind of, I think he was at a career best last year in terms of percentage. So if we can get kind of close to that, and that's going to be with like getting his kind of legs under him and things like that, along with that kind of distributing the ball. I mean, I think they'll be in good shape. But it is, yeah, he's definitely just some plays that we're normally used to him seeing and not used to him kind of wanting to call a timeout or expecting a timeout and sitting on the bench. So those are the little things are just kind of like tells that he's definitely winded out there.
Yeah, yeah, and I think he'll hit some sort of stride this season where he gets comfortable with his body, he feels better in game shape, and he'll look a lot better than he is right now. So I don't doubt, I don't want to doubt him completely right now. I I don't think we've ever seen a 6 game period of LeBron that looks like this. No matter him coming back from injury or anything, even when he comes back from the groin injuries, from the ankle stuff, where he spent about 4 weeks out, he still didn't look like this, right? So
Yeah.
I think this is more of our new norm. I think if we get another 10, 15 games in, we'll probably see a little ramp up of how he's playing his ability to kind of stay on the court, not be as fatigued, and it'll look a little better. Um, my concern and your concern, like you said earlier, is just what's that going to look like in March and April, and hopefully into June.
Yeah, that'll be remain to be seen. But you feel like most likely he'll sit out tomorrow, if you had to guess.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that. They got to play Boston. He played 36 minutes, looked completely fatigued.
They got to go
Yeah,
through customs tonight. They're going to get home at or home. They're
yeah,
going to get to Boston. They're saying about 3 or 4 a.m.
yeah,
Game 7 p.m. over there Eastern time.
yeah. I can't see him
I don't know.
playing a back to back, and just doing it because Luka's out or something like that. I think they'll just rely heavy on Austin Reeves again, um, and then have to use their bench heavily, obviously in this game, and maybe even see what they can do. Hopefully, they can inch out a victory there, but might be one of those games that's a little bit of wash.
Schedule loss, maybe we'll see. I mean, I know Jaylen Brown was out sick today. I don't know what kind of illness it is, so
Yeah.
maybe he'll be out, right? Too. But there's probably a chance they play tonight, so we'll see. We'll see what's what they do tomorrow.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so Lakers got a good win to start off the
Yeah,
road trip. It's kind of like
solid win.
they lost that. Could have had this little momentum thing where they're playing so well, and then all of a sudden lose a couple games, and then kind of ruins the momentum. So I love what JJ was able to do and kind of make some adjustments and get that game going. So let's move on to Boston.
Yeah, I feel just gotta. I mean, get 2 or 3. They got one already, so just get one of the next 2, and we'll call it a pretty good road stint.
Yep. All right, so wanted to get into the Giannis situation with his number one, his calf injury. And then obviously what happened yesterday, the news that was reported before the game. But looks like he has probably a grade 2 calf strain because they put him out already 2 to 4 weeks, which is usually a partial tear, grade 2 strain. You're anywhere out from like 3 to 6 weeks. So I can see him being out at least a month with this injury. But my question, Eric, is that the last time we see Giannis in a Bucks uniform?
I got a feeling we're gonna see it again. I don't know. I think these things, like if there is a trade, I think it's just a lot of moving parts. This is going to be different than the Luka situation, very different because it's out there now, right? And teams are going to kind of put their, going to fill it out a little bit, and there's going to be a lot of, things thrown out there in the media that might be true or may not be true. So I would have to guess, if I were to, put some money on it, I would say I do feel he's going to be back. It is interesting timing, obviously, that this has happened, or that this happened. But yeah, I think he'll be dealt, but I just have a feeling maybe he'll be dealt in the summer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there could be more value to do it in the summer. I just don't know if they can repair this relationship, even though if you watch the Doc Rivers press conference, which is, I mean, you can never believe kind of what he says sometimes, but talking about how, he's never requested a trade, he's never done this, and it's all about the media is kind of making it up. And come on, we all know that Giannis himself has even talked about this. He's talked about the Knicks. Like, he's had conversations about this. So you can't just say it's nonsense, right? And I don't think the Bucks are going to be any better in a month from now than what they are right now. And he obviously wants to win. So I can see an urgency for him to want to go and for them to trade. Now, in your opinion, how many teams legitimately would be a good spot for Giannis?
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lot of teams can use a Giannis. I think although it could happen in the summer, one could say, hey, Milwaukee could probably get a little bit more, you would imagine, if you're getting a team is getting 2 full seasons or like a playoff run potentially with Giannis this year, and then have him next season, kind of like comparing it to like a Kawhi, him getting traded to Toronto, maybe just like a quick pit stop somewhere, Yeah. And I'm thinking, like just throwing some, I don't know, like a Detroit. I don't know what they have to offer, right? But I mean, I don't know if Houston, right? San Antonio. If it's San Antonio, it may not be a rental, but that's where it'll be interesting to see, like, is the team he's going to get traded to, is that where he's going to ultimately end up in the summer of 2027? I'm not sure, depending on where it is.
Yeah, like, will he sign an extension?
Knicks, right? But
it's just like the Luka thing, right? We didn't know if he was going to sign, so it's still a gamble. We obviously know that Giannis has talked about going to the Knicks, so that's one team that's obviously going to be linked no matter what. They just don't necessarily have the assets to trade.
Yeah, you gotta have the assets. Yeah.
They do have a Karl Anthony Towns that can be traded, and you can maybe make it a 3-way type of trade type of scenario, right? Where maybe Karl Anthony Towns is a better fit somewhere else, but Milwaukee gets more picks and things like that from other teams. Now, there's one team that I feel that is not getting talked about enough, and I know it would be kind of a long shot. That'd be the Oklahoma Thunder. You know why, Eric? Because they have like 50
I
first-round picks.
I thought, you know what? I was thinking about it earlier today. I was like, what would be funny if you're trying to, like, you know what? Like, we won with this group, and now we want to kind of reinvent things, and we want to keep this train rolling, and we got about 75 first-round picks, right? Why not?
To me, it reminds me of what the Golden State Warriors were, right? They won a championship without Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Then they became the NBA's best season record team and lost
Dynasty.
in the championship. And what they do next year? They got Kevin freaking Durant, right? So I don't want to discount that they wouldn't do this because of ruining like that team chemistry that they have. I mean, there's a reason why Sam Presti has built up these draft picks. There's a reason why he's built up this whole team and continues to raise this team to this amazing kind of potential dynasty. Now, I don't know if it's the right move, because if you really just break up this core unit, does that change things? Does that make it a different dynamic than what they have? And a result, even though you have Giannis and SGA, does that change the way this team moves forward? Even though those are two of the best players in the world, right? But it might change their dynamics. But could you imagine SGA and Giannis? I mean, like, SGA is unstoppable. Giannis is unstoppable inside. Like, you would have two unstoppable forces on the court, and you can even probably have Jalen Williams with that.
Yeah, probably like a guy like
you would
Chet
just be
Chet
trading
or something
like
would have to go.
Chet,
Yeah.
Chet and like 3 or 4 first-round picks plus the other first-round picks that you have on your roster right now. So I think theoretically it can be done pretty easily for them. I just don't know if it would ruin the chemistry.
Yeah, like Milwaukee would be smart to right, because like it doesn't matter. Milwaukee is just in the business of getting the best deal. I believe, if you're going to make the superpower, so be it. Right, you can't really beat them anyways. So yeah, it would maybe take OKC kind of losing maybe in the playoffs this year or in the finals or Western Conference Finals, and then maybe like hey, maybe we just get an urge to make a big deal, and so. That is definitely a thought. It's going to be, again, a team with probably a haul of first round picks with a little bit of talent. But yeah, we'll see. Just have a feeling it's going to be more of a summer thing.
Yeah.
But as I said, I feel if you're a team, if you're like Milwaukee, would you rather have Giannis for this like second half of the season and playoff run, and then also next season? I feel like you can probably get a little bit more for that, but it's just there's so many moving parts. It's going to probably take multi-team trade and things like that. And so when it gets like that, it just makes it a little tougher to make a deal happen in season.
For sure. I just can't imagine if like you see the Thunder like 35-2, and then they trade for Giannis.
I know.
I don't think that's even like something like that's ever been done, like whereas the first place team trades for the best player and one of the best players in the league, right? So it'll be
first place teams normally don't have that capital,
exactly. Yeah. So and then on top of it, imagine this, Eric. Well, no, they probably give up their first round pick for this year, but imagine if it's not this year, they give up some other ones and they get the first round pick,
not the Clippers one
or something.
I know. Like,
God, man. It's crazy, but yeah, we'll see. He's got to obviously get back from the calf injury. Luckily, it wasn't like a Achilles, because the way he went down, it looked a little suspect just based on his initial reaction. So I'm glad it was more the calf, but again, you got to worry about the Achilles when you rush back from calf injury. So he's got to take his time, got to heal first,
Oh
and then we'll
yes.
talk about everything else after.
Yeah, I mean, we asked like if he's going to play a game of Milwaukee again. I mean, if it happens, I got a feeling it's going to be in a bit because he's not going to rush this thing back. I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and then lastly, wanted to get to the other big story from yesterday. The Clippers being the Clippers. Like I don't even want to make it a Chris Paul thing, but obviously it is a Chris Paul thing.
Yeah.
But what were your initial thoughts on waking up in the middle of the night, or if you saw it in the middle of the night, or waking up in the first thing in the morning and seeing that Chris Paul has been sent home?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's been a tough, challenging season for Chris Paul, the Clippers, everybody involved. We know it's his last season, that's the weird part of it. It pretty much
Yeah.
like a week or two after announcing that this is it, that he parts ways. And so I don't know for sure, but I've always heard that, being in the kind of Chris Paul business, it's not for the weak. He's very vocal. And when you have that cachet that he's had for a lot of his career, I believe that could be put up with. So I'm not saying that, it's right what the Clippers did, but I'm assuming it was like a little annoyance with a team doing bad and just having this person like kind of chirping at things all the time, right? I mean, we guess, I don't know if we'll truly know we'll find out what happened, but yes, obviously it's been a terrible season for the Clippers, and I was pretty surprised that they kind of went about it this way.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that Chris Paul can be pesky. He can be annoying. He can be in the grill of his teammates and coaches, right? But
Yeah,
you knew that when you signed him.
true.
Like you literally went into the offseason like, "Yay, we're going to bring back Chris Paul. We want him to basically finish his career here. Want to be a Clipper again." And then because you're losing and everything's not working out, and he's saying something about it, that's a problem. I mean, that to me that looks bad on the coaching staff for the Clippers and also the ownership and just like the general manager Lawrence Frank and everybody right there with that.
Yeah, I think they picked him up, really just not knowing like clearly what his role would be. And we talked about it. They're gonna have a bunch of kind of old guys, and they're probably were thinking like things are just gonna fall into place if he can give us like a solid 15 minutes a game, and right, and just like obviously if they were winning and things like that, maybe it would be a little bit different. But the fact that guys started going down like crazy, um, Chris Paul, although be it he hasn't really had the opportunity, has been kind of not that effective. They've been doing bad off to a terrible start. I think they won big in Atlanta last night, so they at least they kind of semi got back on track. But they're 6-16. So yeah, I think it was just a perfect storm. But it's still just the fact that he had said it's his last year, and Clippers are probably going nowhere anyways. Although maybe they felt they got to kind of stop the bleeding and figure something out. But yeah, it's kind of a cold world out there. So we'll see what happens. I'm kind of curious where he lands.
Yeah, from what I was hearing, they can't technically release him right now because they would
All
only
right.
have 13 players and they have to have 14 players. So, and if they were to sign somebody, basically essentially go over the cap or the second apron. So it
Uh,
looks like probably something won't happen until January where they can either, I highly doubt anybody's trading for him, but they could get to a point where they can cut him and buy him out or whatnot. And then my question is, where does he go from here? Like, what are the options? There's only, in my opinion, there's probably only two teams that I feel he would go to right now, and that'd be the one right across the
Lakers and
street,
Suns.
Lakers. You said Suns?
I'm just thinking of teams like West Coast, close to home.
Yeah, yeah. The Suns would. I mean, he's been there before. That'd be a good fit. I personally, because I still would like him to get a chip, it would be Oklahoma City, because
Oh, he played there
who
too. Yeah.
who started Oklahoma City being better and kind of
That's right.
was that first teammate for SGA and kind of got him going. That was Chris Paul. Got him into the playoffs, got him into the bubble where they were playing so well. And I think that would be only fitting for him to come there. Doesn't obviously have to do much. Doesn't really matter if he's on the roster. Like he could maybe fill in some minutes here and there. But I think that's a good scenario for him if that's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of coming back to LA, I think it was important for him to be, close to home and things that I believe, I guess, right? And so, um, if he's still kind of with that tune, it would be obviously a West Coast team. However, if it's January and it's like I'm just gonna finish off my career and it's technically only 4 or 5 more months, right,
Yeah.
of just being away, that might be a little different. And so, yeah, I mean, if he's gonna kind of go back to one of his former teams, and I threw Phoenix out there because I know that was one of the possibilities kind of coming into the summer. Not that it would be a good fit or not. I mean, I don't know. They're kind of going in a different direction, I think there. But yeah, wouldn't that be something if he just rolls with OKC? Maybe plays a couple key minutes, key games there, wins a chip. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I just don't see. I mean, he's not going to go to some random team, right? It's going to be some team that has a chance to win a championship, and obviously OKC, Lakers. I do like the Phoenix. Like they don't really have much point guard position except for Gillespie that killed us the other
Yeah.
night. But in general, they don't really have that point guard position, which they've been missing. So that'd be a place where you can kind of get some more minutes and things like that as well. So just really depends on where he wants to go. But to me, it was complete disrespect to do that to somebody that already announced that they're going to retire at the end of the year. Like,
Oh yeah.
if they want to buy him out and be like, hey, like he's like, I don't really want to ride out my year like this. That's fine.
Right.
But
That's different.
to make it like we were talking at 11 p.m. Eastern until 2 o'clock in the morning, and then we sent him on a plane home. Like, get the F out of here. Like, that's not real.
Yeah.
That's not something the real franchise does. And that's why people don't want to sign with the Clippers, probably. I mean, like, moving forward, we saw what the Lakers did with Kobe. We gave him all this money for his last year when probably reality is we probably shouldn't have. But that's how you're going
Right.
to do you're going to help your stars. On the other end, you got the Clippers doing this to Blake Griffin, where they gave him a big contract and traded his ass a couple months later, and then you got Chris Paul now. So I just
Yep.
think it's the Clippers being the Clippers, and that's the usual.
Yeah, it's been a tough, PR kind of nightmare for them the last 3 or 4 months. And so yeah, I felt like could have been handled different, could have been kind of seen as like, oh, we're gonna buy exactly like potential buyout, let's get him on a team where we feel he can, or he feels he can kind of have more of an imprint on and be more of a part of a successful team and things like that. And so pretty sure coming into the season, Clippers probably did not see them having this start. I don't know what kind of their aspirations were, but aspirations. What was it?
I was
What
about
was
to
it?
say
Oh,
aspirations, Eric.
where their
Wow,
aspirations were for this season.
that was a slip, Freudian slip.
Pun, no pun intended, but maybe pun intended.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did him dirty, kicking him out, basically flying him back from the East Coast like middle of the night during middle of a road trip. That's pretty insane.
No, that's not right. So, Clippers are going to become the Clippers again, like usual. They really haven't done anything, so I don't know if that franchise is ever going to win anything. At some point, they probably will, but it's going to be quite some time until they can recoup from all these years of losing draft picks and kind of sign some players that didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, look, like they've probably had their best 15 years of their franchise, like 100%, and they've hit a lot of strides. But it just seems like every year, if it's not one thing, it's another, and so that's why I'm sure Clipper fans get annoyed that the Clippers going to clip, and they probably think it's corny and stuff. But until proven otherwise, we're going to stick with it.
Absolutely. All right, Eric. Got anything else before we get out of here?
No, that's it. Just win one of the next two.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah,
Lakers,
yeah.
of course.
Pretty much.
Or get both. But yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. We will be back on the air on Sunday night. But until then, the Hoops Rehab Show is out. Peace out, guys.
We'll go with the OG to go up to